Having said that, let me just say one more thing. Mr. President, we've spent the year here disappointing from my perspective in trying to address our dire fiscal situation. And we've tried just about everything and every process and every procedure that people can think up. And each one of those has achieved just either minimal results or failed completely. And so after evaluating and looking at the extraordinary effort and energy and time put into the process this year with very few results, it has become ever clearer to me, something that it has reaffirmed something I've believed from day one when I first got into politics, that unless you put in place a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution, which will require members to come down to this well and before the President of the Senate put their left hand on the Bible and their right hand in the air and swear to uphold the Constitution, which incorporates a balanced budget requirement, we're never going to get there. There is always a reason why something statutorily or all the effort, the Gang of Six, the Committee of 12, the rush to a crisis with raising the debt limit, the cliffhangers that are they going to pass this or not pass this? Are they going to extend the debt limit, not extend the debt limit? All the provisions for the appropriations process to cut spending and reduce government involvement and so forth have essentially failed. And what we need to do is what most states in this country do, what every business has to do, what every family has to do, and that is commit to balancing our budget, not spending more than what we take in, and having a constitutional sworn-to agreement that this is what we will do before we adjourn every session and go home. My state of Indiana has to do this. Many states across the country have to do this successfully, and they do, because the transparency and the honesty and the forthrightness of members going before their constituents and say, you know, that's a great idea, that program, but we can't afford it. Now, if you're willing to support our raising your taxes, we could put that new program in place. Or if you're willing to support a cut in some other program to use that money to put that new idea in place, then we can look at it. But we, as elected members and representatives of our constituents and of our states, are sworn to uphold a constitutional amendment which will require us to balance our budget. And this is healthy for us. Mr. President, I think my time is about running out. I've asked for just unanimous consent for 2 more minutes, and I'll wrap it up.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. I thank my colleagues. If we don't do this, if we don't have this ultimate enforcement mechanism, I fear that we will just continue to what we've been doing for years and years and years, and that is falling far short of where we need to go, and I think where most of us know we need to go, to make the tough decisions, to be honest with our constituents, to go forward and basically say, this is what our sworn obligation is, and we're going to have to fulfill this obligation. Nothing else has succeeded in forcing this body to come together and on a bipartisan basis or even on a partisan basis, do what is necessary to get our fiscal house in order. And the people at this holiday season who are without work or struggling to pay the mortgage or struggling to save money for their kids going to school, struggling to pay the bills, wondering what the future is going to hold, can't find a job, working 2 or 3 jobs. They're all out there saying, we've got to get this together. We've got to get this country moving again. And we cannot do that if we are plunging into debt or if the policies coming out of this administration are denying our people the right to work in jobs that are available for us, like the Keystone Pipeline, or if regulations are running up our utility costs. I can't even pay the utility costs now, they say. I barely pay them now, and if you're going to raise it 20 or 30% because of these regulations and because you can't just extend for a modest period of time implementation of this for clean air, which we're all for, then it's not going to be the kind of joyful, happy celebration at Christmas that we all would wish for all of our families all across America. Mr. President, with that, I yield the floor.